Hello, Paul is the best for UK here, and I've just had this delivered from Argos. So you've probably heard of it by now. This is the Spectrum personal computer. I haven't unboxed it yet, it's still in its sort of bag, whatever it comes in. This was delivered actually yesterday, but I'm making the video today, so I haven't actually used this yet. So it's a ZX Spectrum recreation for 2024. So we've got over 35 crash smashes, and you can load your own games via USB pen drive. Let's unbox it now. Let's take it out of the box. We can see all the 48 games are there. You've got games such as Manic Miner, Lords of Midnight, Match Day 2, School Days, all the classics. 48 games are actually included, 35 as crash smashes like it said. You get the Spectrum, HDMI A to USB-C, that's 1.8 meters. HDMI cable. You do not get the power supply unfortunately though. So here we go, there it is. This is a Spectrum. You remember the one from 1982? This is a recreation of that. 48 games are included. And it also includes a bonus crash magazine, at least my edition did. So let's have a look at this system. I've got my coffee there in my Spectrum mug. I've had that mug for about 5 or 6 years, maybe more now. And yeah, little just a basic knife just to cut this here. There we go. Be careful with things like that, of course, very sharp. Right, let's open the box. So inside the box, ooh, very nice. We've got like a printout of the Spectrum on the top cover of the box. I'll be keeping the box. I won't be discarding the box or anything. I'll be keeping all the packaging like I have all the other retro game systems I've purchased over the years. Ah, there it is. So it's got a plastic cover, nicely presented. Now you notice it doesn't say Sinclair or ZX. It just says Retro, the Spectrum. That's potentially because of licensing rules, I'm not sure. Sinclair is owned by B-Sky B, I believe. British Sky Broadcasting. There we go. So, Retro. Wow, well, that's very, very true to the original, in fact. And yeah, it does feel very genuine as well, the rubber keys do. I am impressed with that, actually. We've got 4 USB ports, USB style A. We've got HDMI port, 5V USB-C port. Mine's serial number 8241. So yes, so you are going to need your own power adapter for this, with USB type A output or a USB-C to USB-C cable, which is not included. So we got the like a little pamphlet here. This is not the manual. Not the full manual. You can order the full manual, I believe. Sort of in the style of the original. Let's put that on there. Nice little mini crash magazine. Yeah, you can see all the retro games there. They've got their own advert on the first page. And we got a few like they used to back in the day. Reviews and stuff. Nicely done. Nice nostalgic look at it. Back in the day, obviously, this crash magazine was A4 size, but in here it's more like an A5 size. So we've got another box with the famous rainbow stripes on. So inside this box we have got, there's a HDMI cable, plastic caps to protect it from transport and stuff, and somewhere in here, which is being a bit of a struggle to get out. Try shaking it a bit. Yep, that should do it. We have got a USB-A to USB-C cable. This is the one that's included. So you've got USB-A there and USB-C. So like I do say, I must stress this, there's no power adapter, but well, I'll just point in there. That's where the power requirements are. So on booting it, you get this screen. I have connected it to my HDMI capture device. So choose our language and we choose which screen hertz refresh rate we want. 50 Hz is more PAL, I think, and 60 Hz is more NTSC. I'm just going to choose 50 Hz because that's fair enough for my television that I'm going to be using this on. You can use 60 Hz on mouse TVs as well. Okay, sometimes... There we go. So we're into the menu. So we've got some nice music. I'll shut up a minute so you can listen. So yeah, that's the music in the menu. And there's different music as well sometimes, like this one. So on the Spectrum you can start it in classic mode or you can have this UI. So let's have a look at the games first that are included. We've got Movie, Nodes of Yesod, Penetrator, Fantis, Phoenix, Kyra Curse, Quasatron, Robin of the Wood, Saboteur Remastered, Shovel Adventure, that's a new game, School Days, Snake Escape, another new game, some of these are homebrew, Spellbound, Starquake, I can't remember Starquake actually, it's pretty good, Star Strike 2, I've never played that one, I played the original, Stonkers, Target Renegade, I've played that a lot, TCQ, never heard of it, Technical Content but the remix version, I had the original version, Tenebra, Trashman, oh Trashman's on here, cool, that's a decent game that is. The Way of the Exploding Fist, Wheelie, oh you can't beat a bit of Wheelie, Rare Time Stood Still, Alien Girl Skirmish Edition, I think that's a modern game, Ant Attack, I remember Ant Attack, Army Moves, Alfried the Saint Monty, Avalon, Bobby Bearing's on here, Cosmic Payback, Devil 2, El Stompo, some of these could be new games, Excellent, that's an excellent game, Fairlight, Firelord, remember that as well, Football Manager 2, Freddy Hardest, The Great Escape, Head Over Heels, that's one game I used to play back as a kid, Highway Encounter, The Hobbit, good old Howie Skarskians on here, Jack the Nipper, Not in 3D, some of these I've never heard of, Lords of Midnight, Manic Miner of course, Match Day 2, sorry, can put you on USB, that's what I've done there, Movie, and there we go. So that's all the games on the system, but this video isn't really concentrating on the games that are included on the system, it's more concentrating on games you can add. But yeah, let's just try a couple of them that's included, such as this one. So on this game, I don't think I've ever played this one before, you do get like this weird introduction to the game, which just like loads of stars and suns and stuff. I suppose it would look quite cool back in the day. And here's the game itself, it's like a sort of Galaxian clone. You do get a defense as well. Oh you fuck, dead already. So yeah, that's that one. This is one of the included games. Shall we have a look at one of the other included games as well? So we got Penetrator. Yeah, good old Penetrators on here. This has actually got a level designer which is pretty cool. I remember playing this back in the day. Yeah, a Scramble clone, but with a level editor. Of course we've got Manic Miner. You can't have a rubber key Spectrum without Manic Miner. Now I will say this is an emulator in a Spectrum shell basically, but obviously they've recreated the shell themselves, so they've done an excellent job. It's hard to distinguish the difference, especially with the keyboard itself. But this does have advantages over the original Spectrum. It's not as authentic, like you won't like it as much as the original, but it has got advantages like this, for example. 1 to 8K support. Now this is one of the games I've added myself with, well, I've added via USB stick, and yeah, it's really good. Really, this is in +2A mode. You've got 48 mode, 1 to 8 / +2 mode, and +2A mode. +2A mode's the later release of the Spectrum. As you can see, it plays 1 to 8 games just fine. This game works in 48 as well anyway, it just doesn't have any music normally. But yeah, adding your own games is pretty simple, to be honest. You're going to need a USB flash drive. I recommend 32 gigabytes or less, and you need to format it in FAT32. On my other video the other day I did say that 128 gigabyte drives are supported, which they are kind of, because mine's working on here, but it's not recommended, and it doesn't say to use anything above 32 gigabyte in the manual. So probably best to use one that's less than 32 gigabytes. So let's have a look at some more games I've added myself. You can have the option to load games via the tape loader in scheme like this. This is in super fast mode though. You can load them at like genuine one-time speed, like the original speed, which is kind of a neat feature. This only applies to TZX files, I believe. Oh, that iconic speech. Remember this music as well. Does actually take me back to my youth, childhood, when I used to have this game back in the day. Wasn't that well received, was it? But I actually thought it was a really decent game. Quite sluggish by today's standards, of course, but I didn't really notice at the time, but I don't suppose you would have. I quite liked its unique look. Whoa, more wheels have dropped off. Of course you can't have a ZX Spectrum without Chase HQ. This is absolute stupendous port. Just to let you know, you can load these games how you want. You can load them in 128K mode, you can load them in 48K mode. One thing I didn't cover in this video, which I should have done really, but after editing it back, I didn't notice that I've actually included any of it, is basic programming. You can actually do all that as well. So if you want to do basic programming, you can do it either in 128K mode or 48 mode, whichever one you want to do. It's kind of bizarre to have a full 128K machine in a 48K shell, but it works quite well actually. Very impressed. So we've also got more, like I said, this video is more based on what I've added myself. Well, there's loads of videos out there about the included games. This is Gillian's Gold, works just fine. I used to play this a lot as a kid. It's a clone of an arcade machine which I forget the name of now. But yep, Terramex also works fine. You've probably noticed all the games I'm trying, or most of them, are AY enhanced, so it's showing you the 128K capabilities of the system. It's not bad for the price, actually, 90 quid. Definitely gives a lot of nostalgia to one. I know there's things like the Spectrum Next and everything. I've also got the Xberry Pi. I haven't got the Spectrum Next, but I've got the Xberry Pi, and that's more of a hardware implementation. This is software emulating, but so far I'm really impressed with what it can do. Of course, you can't have a Spectrum without playing Micronaut 1, can you? This game is absolutely superb for its day. Look how fast it runs on the Spectrum. I remember back as a kid just flying through these corridors, just having no idea what to do, and just using my imagination. I thought it was brilliant at the time, and it still holds well today actually. The frame rate is pretty good for such a early system. I mean, this system was built originally, the original incarnation of it was built in 1982, which is like the same age as I am, 42 years ago. So yeah, impressive 3D graphics for such an early system. The infamous eye that used to scare me. Ah, there it is. Yeah, there she is. Of course, you've got to try a bit of Homebrew on it, and this is the Super Mario Brothers clone. That's the one written a few years ago. I think it was like 2021, something like that. Very impressive. I don't think Nintendo were too impressed so at the time. So there it is. That's the new Spectrum from RetroGames. To be honest with you, I'm very impressed. It's very realistic to the original. Of course, it's got the extra ports and stuff on the back, but the way it looks and the way the keyboard is almost identical. You can hardly tell the difference. And yes, very impressed with this. Well worth the 90 quid in my opinion. So I'm going to give that one a solid 10. Thank you for watching. Oh, you've stuck around, that's good. It helps my channel out loads. Sam M-OH2CX said, have to admit this release is exciting for me. Would generally feel like way back in the very early 80s when I first got my Spectrum. It's genuinely hard to describe back then, today, as the world has changed so much, and whilst this release won't ever come close to how it was back then, it's definitely going to bring back a lot of memories of a great machine at a great time. So many games, Paul, it's difficult to think of one, because I did ask for suggestions. If I had to think of one I'd like to see again, it would have to be Frankie Goes to Hollywood. It was such a bizarre game. Me and my mate genuinely spent hours, WTF, we all know what that stands for, are we playing. Would love to see you run it on the Spectrum and see if you have the same reaction we did. Would also love a shout out to, if possible, Paul. So yes, this is a shout out to Sam M and his mates and stuff, and I'm going to try this game now. I've never played this game actually. I've heard of the movie and I genuinely have never played this on the Spectrum, so let's have a look at this game here and see what we've got with this one. At least I don't think I have. I can't remember playing it. So let's cut back into the Spectrum and have a look at this game. So here we are, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. So let's have a look at this. Okay, I'm not quite sure what's going on at the minute. It's a man walking across. Okay, so into the game now. Oh, a bit of colour clash there, isn't there? So there's some doors. Okay, how do we... what do we do? We can... okay. Yeah, I've definitely never played this one before. We got some sort of inventory screen here. You are carrying nothing. That's fair enough. Can we walk up? Yes, we can. And as you walk up, it does like a transition effect. That's kind of cool. I do like the fact that the game's got some colour in it, even though there's a lot of colour clash. Sometimes I prefer it if there was colour clash, if it gives a bit of colour to the game experience. You are carrying nothing. Right. Okay, I can't go left or right out the screen. Fireplace, I'll keep bringing that bloody selection screen up. Yes, just like you said in your statement, or your comment, sorry, yeah, I got no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Alright, can I go up? Can I go in that door? How do I go in the door? Right, turn, there we go, we've gone in the door. You have to sort of like rotate toward the door. Oh, we're in the terrace houses now, outside the terrace houses. Nice bit of colour, nice graphics. So yeah, that's Frankie Goes Hollywood. I'd like to thank you for the suggestion. Many thank yous for that one. So thank you for watching, everyone. Goodbye.